Vultures may not be the most loved or admired birds, but they are some of the most important creatures in nature. Often misunderstood and seen as scary or dirty, vultures actually play a vital role in keeping our environment clean and healthy. They are nature's cleanup crew, feeding mostly on dead animals that would otherwise rot and spread disease. By doing this, vultures help stop the spread of harmful bacteria and viruses that can affect both animals and people. In many parts of the world, vultures are the first to arrive when an animal dies. They eat quickly and efficiently, leaving little behind. This natural cleaning service helps prevent bad smells, reduces the number of insects like flies that breed on carcasses, and keeps diseases like rabies and anthrax in check. In this way, vultures help protect the health of livestock, wildlife, and even human communities. Sadly, despite their importance, vulture populations are declining rapidly across the globe. If we lose these birds, the effects could be serious, not just for nature, but for our own well-being. This review will explore who vultures are, why they are disappearing, and what we can do to help save them. Vultures are found on almost every continent, and though they may look similar, there are actually many different types of vultures around the world. They are generally divided into two main groups: Old World vultures, which live in Africa, Europe, and Asia, and New World vultures, which are found in North and South America. Even though these groups are not closely related, they have developed similar features because they do the same job in nature, finding and eating dead animals. Some well-known species include the white-rumped vulture, once very common in India and now critically endangered; the griffon vulture, which soars over the mountains of Europe; the Cape vulture of southern Africa; and the Andean condor, one of the largest flying birds in the world, found in South America. The turkey vulture is a familiar sight in the skies of North America, often seen gliding in wide circles as it searches for food. Vultures play a key role in the food chain by getting rid of dead animals, also known as carrion. Without them, carcasses would take much longer to decompose and could become breeding grounds for dangerous diseases. Other scavengers like rats and wild dogs might move in, but they dainty clean up nearly as efficiently as vultures, and they often spread more problems than they solve. Because vultures have strong stomach acids, they can safely digest meat that would make other animals very sick. This makes them uniquely suited for this dirty but incredibly important job. In many ways, vultures are like nature's garbage collectors. They don't kill animals, they clean up after death, making sure the cycle of life continues without spreading disease or polluting the environment. Despite their rough appearance, they are gentle birds that quietly help keep the balance in ecosystems all over the world. Over the past few decades, vulture populations have been falling at an alarming rate across the world. What's worrying is that this decline has happened quietly, without many people noticing, until it became a serious crisis. In some parts of the world, especially in Asia and Africa, the number of vultures has dropped by more than 90%, which is truly shocking. This silent crisis is now raising concern among scientists, conservationists, and even public health experts. In South Asia, particularly India, Nepal, and Pakistan, vulture numbers collapsed in the 1990s. One of the main reasons was a veterinary drug called diclofenac, which was given to cattle to reduce pain and swelling. When vultures fed on the carcasses of animals treated with diclofenac, the drug caused kidney failure and death in the birds. Within a few years, millions of vultures died, and species like the white-rumped vulture and the Indian vulture became critically endangered. Although the drug has now been banned in many of these countries, its illegal use still continues in some areas. In Africa, vultures are facing a different set of problems. Poisoning is one of the biggest threats. Sometimes, farmers poison carcasses to kill predators like lions or hyenas. But vultures end up eating the poisoned meat and die in large numbers. In other cases, poachers poison animals to kill vultures deliberately, because the birds circling overhead can reveal the location of illegal hunting. This has led to mass killings of vultures in countries like Botswana, Kenya, and South Africa. Even in Europe and the Americas, vultures are not entirely safe. Habitat destruction, collisions with wind turbines and power lines are affecting their survival. In some areas, changes in farming practices have reduced the availability of food for vultures, making it harder for them to find enough to eat. This widespread decline of vultures is more than just a tragedy for the birds. It's a warning sign for our ecosystems. When a species that plays such a crucial role in cleaning the environment disappears, the impact is felt throughout the food chain. The silent crisis of vulture loss is one that needs urgent attention before it's too late. There isn't just one reason why vultures are disappearing, it's a mix of problems, many caused by human activity. Understanding these causes in simple terms can help us see how serious the situation is and why urgent action is needed. One of the biggest threats to vultures is poisoning. This usually happens when people put poison on dead animals to kill predators like lions, hyenas, or jackals. Unfortunately, vultures also eat from those poisoned carcasses and die in large numbers. In some parts of Africa, poachers intentionally poison carcasses to kill vultures. Because the birds give away their illegal hunting activities by circling in the sky. This has led to the deaths of hundreds of vultures in single events. Another major cause is the use of veterinary drugs, especially diclofenac, which was widely used in countries like India to treat sick cattle. The drug is harmless to cows, but deadly to vultures. When vultures feed on the carcasses of animals treated with diclofenac, it causes kidney failure and death. This single drug caused the loss of millions of vultures in South Asia. Although it's now banned in several countries, it is still being used illegally, and other harmful drugs are also being used without enough testing for wildlife safety. Habitat loss is another serious problem. As forests and grasslands are cleared for farming, cities, or roads, vultures lose their natural nesting and roosting sites. Trees where vultures used to build their nests are being cut down, and open spaces where they used to search for food are vanishing. As the human population grows, vultures are being squeezed out of the spaces they need to survive. Electrocution and collisions also pose a growing threat. Vultures often perch on electricity poles or fly into power lines and wind turbines, which can lead to serious injuries or death. These accidents are especially common in open landscapes where tall trees are scarce, and vultures have limited safe places to rest or spot food from the sky. Finally, food scarcity is making it harder for vultures to survive. In the past, they had access to plenty of dead livestock and wild animals. But now, due to improved carcass disposal, changes in farming, and the decrease in large wild animals, vultures often struggle to find enough to eat. Without enough food, they can feed their chicks or keep up their energy to fly long distances in search of meals. All of these problems together are making it harder and harder for vultures to survive. Without help, their numbers will continue to fall, and the important role they play in keeping nature clean will be lost.